force is what gives the Jedi his power.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
This is where the fun begins.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Star Wars. My name's Christopher.
My name's Pat.
And I'm Lex.
And there's a lot to talk about today. We've got a lot. But I think Patrick, you and I should deal with the elephant in the room here. Because our co-host, Lex, is no longer a Star Wars Celebration virgin. Unlike the two of us. So
yes, we've got
Lex, how was Star Wars Celebration? Because it looked hectic, like watching everyone's vlogs and stuff. Like it looked pretty hectic. Like, could two 40-plus-year-old Star Wars Celebration virgins handle it? Like, is Pat gonna go down? Is he gonna like have a heart attack on the floor or something? Like, it looked pretty crowded on, in a couple videos. Like,
give us a skinny, give us the lowdown. What do we expect in 2027?
It's hard for me to compare it because, again, this was my first celebration. But to me, I feel like any convention out there is usually oversold, and it always has its like hiccups. You know, I feel like that is just like the blanket of a convention. You're never going to have a perfect convention, and it's always going to be a ton of people. Yeah. However, from what I've heard, is that people who have attended prior celebrations, it has never been this crazy. Like the first day, the store, like the show store itself, sold out by 1:30. So I couldn't even go to my reservation. I had like a reservation for the Lightspeed lane at 4:30. So I actually had to go on Saturday. Like I got up early and went and got in. But store was sold out by 1:30. The food court was sold out by 11 a.m. So there was no food past 11 a.m., which was absolutely insane.
Each day was cleaned out?
Just the first day, it was sold out at 11 a.m.
Oh,
and then they oversold Hayden's autographs to the point where quite a majority of us, including myself, had our autographs canceled.
That
sucks.
So it was definitely
it seemed like there was a lot of like lines and stuff, like lines to get into booths and lines to get into
I spent a lot of
panels.
time in lines, which is not like anything new. I feel like every time you go for autos and photo ops and stuff, there are a lot of lines. But everything you tried to do, there was a line. Try to get in the hot store, like toy store line. Try to get into the show store, especially if you didn't have a reservation. You were pretty much waiting all day. The autos took forever. Like I think I waited for Rosario for like 3-4 hours, and she was late. Like it was just a lot.
See that gets tough, I would think. At like so going to a regular con is one thing, right?
Yeah.
Because certain cons, certain people kind of show more regularly than others. Going to Star Wars Celebration is like the mecca, I would think, of all the cons of Star Wars fans going to. So I get a little like, I get a little concerned. Like if I spent most of my day waiting in line for just one thing, that would blow.
That's what it seems
only
like.
3 days versus 4 days. So
you
really had to like
3 to 4 hours for one auto.
But a lot of us pretty much
spent a day.
Yeah, a lot of us spent majority of our day like either in line for autos or photos, in line for some of the exclusive stores, or in line for like the panels. Like even having a reservation, we had to wait. So imagine not having it and trying to do like standby.
Probably not even
you're wasting your whole day. And I think Andrea even waited like on Friday, like all day, and then they canceled. Like she couldn't even get in. Like she waited all morning in the standby line and then couldn't get in.
Oh, now, did they have booths that, or like stores or booths that you could go to without getting in line? Because like compared to say like MegaCon, like you don't have to get in line to go to do any shopping at MegaCon, right? So
it seemed like the majority of the booths that were there were like big names, like Figpin was there, Hot Toys, Lego, like there were a few. Just like regular people that had just like exclusive, like, or vintage Star Wars stuff. But the majority of the booths had lines because they were big name, like retailers.
Right.
Very few, like maybe a handful were like just regular old Joes, like selling stuff. And they didn't have, super crazy lines. Like it was just busy. But a lot of the big name retailers like did have lines, and you did.
I saw something like that in your video or Tony's, where it was like a new dope was like one of those smaller vintage kind of guys, and it was like little stall. And he happened to be on a corner, which made his, I think, a little bit better experience because you could kind of go around the corner outside to see what was in there. And he was blowing out on day one. Then I saw day two, he was restocked. But like you're saying, like Tops, Lego, Hot Toys, all of them had these like major. It was an experience, I guess, if you will, but it was a line to get to see those exclusives. I definitely.
Hasbro had a huge booth. Yadra was there. They had like all their porcelain statues, and like a lot of the booths that were there had exclusives. Like Stance was there, so they had their exclusive products that were only in Japan. And then on top of that, if you were trying to do the pin collecting, you had to spend X amount at these booths to get an exclusive pin. So like a lot of people were going just to spend money at the booth so that way they could get the pin to then do the pin trading or like to try to collect it, which in itself, like if you're not even trying to get the exclusives, you had people waiting in line to just buy stuff to get the pins because you got to spend X amount of money at these booths to get the pins. So you had people trying to do both or even just, both at once, but it was crazy.
Wow. That is crazy. That is crazy. Tweet another.
Yeah, we have one seriously. I don't know. The lisp got a little bit of a lisp going on in the chat.
Daffy Duck or something.
I mean, nothing exciting for me. I mean, Lex just got back from Japan, so like, when did you get back? Yesterday?
Yeah, like yesterday.
This morning.
Afternoon.
Yesterday afternoon.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah, but it's like trippy because I left on the 21st in Japan, which was the 20th for you guys, and then I got back on the 21st for you guys, but it was still the 21st for me. It was absolutely insane.
You were in the future. How was the future?
It was great. Lots of Star Wars. What's up, Chris? I know he's still in Japan.
Yeah, Nerd Squadron. I know. Like, nice. he's in the chat from Japan.
Yeah, man.
He put a couple extra days on the other end of his trip too. Eh? Look at that.
He did. A lot of people like either went up for a celebration and then were staying after. A few of us went up like before and then left after celebration. Some are doing like a little bit after, but I capped it after celebration.
But it seemed really cheap. Like at a lot of the stores, like Tony and Ricky and Jose and all of them were going to in their vlogs. Like it seemed like it was really cheap.
I mean, put it this way. At Universal Orlando, you could buy a water bottle for like a good $15, $20. Right?
Wow.
Going to Universal there, it was like $5 for a water bottle. Not even.
Crazy.
Like, at Universal. I think my butterbeer was like $7 in Orlando, probably like 20, 25. Like, it was insane.
Yeah.
So it was definitely our US dollar holds a lot of weight compared to the yen, not vice versa. So
I was looking like even the Canadian dollar goes pretty far out there.
Yeah, so like the yen is definitely a little tough, and I think that's why they're trying to like impose certain taxes over there on like tourists and stuff. But I mean, by far the most expensive thing was the flight over there. I think if you plan like ahead of time and you're not going like trying to go during peak season, like April cherry blossom season, it won't be as expensive. But I mean, generally like a lot of the food, the convenience stores, like everything, even like the drinks. I think one of the nights like we all went out and got drinks, and it was like 350 yen for like a whiskey and Coke. Like it was nothing crazy. Like it was really cheap.
Wow.
Like to get alcohol even. Like it was insane.
Yeah, you guys look like you could eat well, and definitely from some of the bargain shopping I saw you guys doing. You guys are, I think you guys are getting some good buys with whether you're getting the collectibles, some of the trading cards, all that. And they had so much. I remember seeing different people trying to go to the different cities prior, trying to hit like different exclusives at Nintendo or Pokemon store and stuff. It was just so neat to see all that. And I really enjoyed watching everyone's vlogs because I got to see so much of Japan, and I'd love to go. And I, obviously haven't had the opportunity, but it was beautiful. Like seeing some of the Zen gardens and the Osaka castle and all that. Like, it was awesome feeling that I was along with you all, even though I couldn't be there, and just got to experience the vibe, and it was really cool. And I thank you all for the dedication, because I know the effort to sit there and go to an event, record all that and then to edit, stream it, and get it out there that quickly. So thank you guys for all the effort and work you did, and definitely sleepless nights you guys are having. So I appreciate that. All of us.
Yeah, they were definitely better than me about it. They were able to get the content out. I was like dead. I was like, I have to just go to bed and I will post when I get home. So the videos are coming for sure. I just like literally I was telling Patrick before we hopped on, I was like, I would go to bed like 12 to 2 o'clock, get up at like 5, 6. Like I was not like, you were just on the go all the time. So I definitely didn't get to put out the content right away. I don't even know how some of the guys were able to do it, but it's gonna come.
Oh, it's all starting. Everybody is not everybody was cranking it out. So there I'm seeing more and more.
I think Tony secretly cloned himself or something. He's got like a clone in his hotel room.
Well, they were telling me they were going back and like taking naps during the day. They had a little bit of a harder time adjusting, I think, to like the time zone and like the, the eating and all that kind of stuff. So I was fine because I worked night shift like prior, but like they would go take naps during the day and then be up all hours, and so they were kind of editing there and back, but they were all exhausted. I think they just did a better job at pushing themselves to get it out than I did.
Yeah.
Beskar Kid says everybody say Andor.
Andor.
Stopping by real quick to say hi. Andor.
Nice.
Did you have any gourmet meals at Japanese 7-Eleven? Apparently the high class retail there. What was your favorite vending machine?
Yeah, I did have a lot of meals from 7-Eleven and Lawson's. I mean, a lot of the Japanese like restaurants and stuff didn't open till like 11 o'clock. We don't have breakfast at 11 o'clock. Like that's just not a thing. I feel like in America, like I feel like we look forward to our breakfast at like 7, 8 o'clock sometimes. So, and then in the morning when you're trying to get up and like, let's say go get in line for the convention, like some people were waking up at like 1 or 3. Like I wasn't doing that. I mean, maybe like 6 or so, but even then a lot of the breakfast places aren't open. So you got to go to 7-Eleven and like get some stuff. But honestly, I had some of the best food I've ever eaten at these like convenience stores. So that's for sure.
Yeah.
No, I don't miss
better than the shit you find out. Better than the shit you get in the convenience stores out here.
Oh, absolutely. I'll never look at 7-Eleven the same.
The hotels, didn't they have like continental breakfast at them or anything like that? Is that just not a thing?
I mean, they started at like 6:30, and a lot of people were already over there in line by 6:30.
Oh, yeah, true.
So
crazy. Chris said, "Don't you miss doing laundry in Japan?"
That was actually the first time me and Chris met up in Japan. Is we were waiting in line at the hotel like the first night to do our laundry. And
there you go.
A long line. People were not pulling their laundry out.
Late night laundry rendezvous.
Dude, it was awful. I think we didn't go to bed till like 2 o'clock, and even then, like our laundry didn't dry at all. So we like took it. We had to go hang it up like in our bathrooms. I like took a dryer and like put it on top of the rack, like my hair dryer, so it would like blow on the. Like, we had to get super creative with it because it was rough. That was a rough night, and then get up early to go to celebration. So that was wild.
Yeah. Booth sounds like a lot.
Yeah, the booths were definitely hectic for sure.
Yeah, they looked hectic.
A lot of cool announcements, right? They had a lot of cool
announcements. But before we get into the announcements, like how many famous content creators did you meet over there?
I mean,
like you mentioned you met Chris
for sure. Yeah, so Chris, Nerd Squadron. I ran into I'm Gianni V. I actually ran into him while we were at Universal. He was there. A lot of us ended up going to Universal the same day. We didn't all run into each other the same day, but I got to hang out with him for quite a while. I did run into him at Celebration. Tony, obviously, Ricky, Pop the Bounty Collector, our buds. I saw Andrea, Jose from General Kenobi's bunker. I saw Jack and Jimmy from Explore the Force.
Nice.
Hannah from the Race Side, Marley, Pop the Bounty Collector. The Movie Pod, Commander Jesse, HP Bricks.
You did get
who else? Oh my gosh, Battle Packs was there. Jungle Jedi. There was like a ton of people there, and we were all kind of just like hanging out in the hotel, like having drinks together.
Take it easy, Cap.
Enjoy, brother.
Enjoy your last day in Japan.
Yeah, have a blast.
Sure.
That's so cool. You guys had an awesome time.
But like Patrick was saying, there was a lot announced. Now, which panels did you go to?
The first day I got to go to the Mando and Grogu panel, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, you got a little teaser.
We got, you
Yeah.
know, Sean Levy. Well, Kathleen Kennedy and Filoni came out. We did get to see, you know, kind of it wasn't even a trailer, but they made the announcement. They brought Sean Levy out. He was like, I'm gonna squash like some, you know, there's lots of rumors out here, but I'm gonna squash one of them. And a lot of people are saying Ryan Gosling's in it, and I'm here to tell you it's true. And then Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, I saw clips of that.
So that was really cool. And they announced their standalone movie that's going to take place after episode 9, Starfighter. Then they left, and then our home dog Din Djarin, Pedro Pascal, made his way out, as well as Sigourney Weaver, who was dressed in like one of the had like a rebel pilot outfit on. And they kind of showed us a little bit of a trailer and stuff. It had Zeb, it had her. They even brought out those little droids that we see in it, which was pretty cool. So, and then Favreau came out like holding a Grogu that was like actually moving like his head and stuff like that. It was so cool. So that was a good panel.
That's cool. I don't know what Pedro was wearing. Was he auditioning for some pirate role with the boots and the blousey shirt? I just did he lose a bet? Like I could not fathom what he was wearing. I was like, what?
He looked so good until I saw his like shoes or whatever those were. And I was like, whoa. But then I was talking to Tony about it. He was like, that is Drip Daddy. And I was like, he is daddy, but I don't know about those shoes. Like it's terrible. But his ass looked good, so that's all that really matters. You know? Yeah,
my wife said that once she heard what went down on Sunday night's episode, she's like, I don't even need to watch it because I'm never watching it again. Without him on the show, there's no point in watching it. I'm not watching.
Best Star Kid. I love me a slutty boot.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I almost thought it was like a continuation of his pants, but then I realized they weren't pants; they were shorts. And
they were shorts.
Boots. And I was like, whoa. I like couldn't look at him, but I called it. I was like, they're gonna bring him out, and they did. And then he actually went to the live stage after, and like they had a whole conversation about it and stuff. And he like put Filoni's cap on and shit. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. Hey, Eric. Says, hey, good peoples. Welcome back, Lex.
What's going on, Eric?
But then on Saturday, they did the Andor panel, which I didn't get into, but I know they showed like the first episode for tonight. And then later that afternoon, let me back up. Friday, I think, was also the 20th animation or 20th.
Yeah, and you went to that one, yeah?
Yes. After my Rosario auto, I ran to that. My buddy John saved me a seat, so I was able to get in and watch it. And honestly, that was probably the best panel that I attended all of Celebration. Like, it was such a good panel.
Nice. Mm-hmm. And is that where they showed the first episode of Underworld?
So and it was the first thing that they announced or showed us really was this like unrendered animated like clip that they were going to use in the Clone Wars, and it was actually from like the Cad Bane Boba Fett arc where like Boba Fett was kind of being mentored by Cad Bane. And what we gathered from it is essentially like Boba Fett had attacked Mace Windu, and then Anakin like went on after him. And it was like this whole speeder bike chase through Coruscant, but it was very like unrendered, but they had actually recorded with the voice actor. So it was like the voice actor's voices in it. And I did record it, and then I got yelled at like right at the end. So I do have the footage if anyone's interested. We just got to keep it on the DL, you know?
I will.
That was really cool. And then they were like, Tales of the Underworld are coming. Like, let's watch the first episode. And honestly, it was absolutely amazing. I don't know if you guys read Dark Disciples, but it takes place right after.
All right. I heard it.
It's right there. After. It is. Yeah. It's right there. And then it picks up and it starts with Asajj and stuff. And then you see the young Jedi, the young Inquisitor, an amazing lightsaber duel. Like, it was a solid episode. I'm super excited for it.
Nice.
And then they were talking.
I heard that Quinlan shows up in
right out of the gate. Him and Obi-Wan are kind of, taking Asajj to lay her to rest in one of the pools on Dathomir, and that's how it starts. That's exactly how the book ends. Is Quinlan?
Oh, I can't wait!
The pool.
I can't wait.
So. That's exactly what it is. And then the kid is like mentioning like, oh, the path, Quinlan Vos, the founder of the path. And she was like, what did you just say? He's like, the path. And she was like, no. Like, what did you say? He was like, oh, Quinlan Vos. And she was like, and that's how they kind of end up together essentially. So But it was good. It was good. Highly anticipated. Really looking forward to it. You guys are gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
But Corey Bach,
Nice.
100% confirmed. He was in it.
Now, did they show the visions during that too, or is that a separate?
That was its own panel on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, no mentions of Visions, but then right after that, they were like, "Oh, another animated series is coming, blah blah blah," and then they like dimmed the light,
there is.
and we got the announcement and the trailer of the Maul Sith Lord, and then right at the end of it,
Shadow
when it
Lord.
finished, Shadow Lord. There was like a red light that came
Oh,
down right on to Sam Whitworth, and he was like, "Play it again." So we got to watch it twice. And a lot of people are speculating that the young Twi'lek that was in it, even though she looked very pink in the trailer, they were thinking that that is Darth Treya. Or
No,
not Darth Treya.
Darth Talon.
Talon.
Darth
I
Talon.
was like, she looks really pink. So
Maybe they'll change it up a little. Because
I mean, they're gonna. I mean, she's red, like she's Darth Maul red, and
Yeah,
the
she
young
is red.
girl that
She
was
is
in
red.
it was
markings. And I think those eventually you grow into.
She looked red. Like
Mm-mm.
Patrick, I'm guessing you didn't see the leaked trailer for that.
She looked pink.
I did not see that.
She looks red to me. Like there was one clip where she looked a bit pink, but like when you first see her, she looked red.
See, I didn't see that. All I saw was him coming down the ramp. Like people.
Well, that was like
him.
one of the opening is like you hear like the clack, 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 like of him come down, and then you see like the saber ignite, and you can tell that it's Maul. And we were like, me and John were looking at each other. We were like, like,
Yeah.
And then we see, and we're like,
nuts.
Maul. But like you could kind of tell by like the clacking of like the metal feet that he had, like
Yep.
And it was him. But honestly, that was probably like the biggest news. Obviously, it's a new trailer, Sam Whitworth, like coming 2026. So that was super exciting. But
you know what I wanted to ask? Was there no mention of like Daisy Ridley's film? Is that getting kind of like moved?
I mean, Kathleen Kennedy made an announcement. She said she confirmed it was still happening.
No, I know they said other projects are happening, but like, no.
All I heard was that there was other projects happening. The only one that they straight out confirmed was Sean Levy's.
Yeah, and I thought that was interesting that they kind of wedged that because I guess that's
it had nothing to do with Mando and Grogu, but it was there. So
yeah, I feel like they're wedging that in, maybe to kind of help the IP a little bit, get a little bit of an insurgence because like. I think the success of Deadpool Wolverine, I think maybe they want to try to capture the lightning in the bottle again with this guy. Maybe, I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember. I mean, I'm sure it's on YouTube now because it seemed like they posted everything. But what I remember is her just like acknowledging that there's other movies in the works, but like they were specifically highlighting and confirming Sean Levy's was happening. It's coming out.
I think her saying that they're in the works is her confirming that they're still happening at the moment.
But she didn't say like Daisy Ridley's film is in the works coming May 2027. Like
she it's still in the works.
Yeah, but she never said Daisy
she said
Ridley or anything.
She said the Charmin Obeyed Shinoy, which is the Rey movie.
Well, interesting note.
And she said she confirmed the Simon Kinberg trilogy, which is also supposed to be a Rey trilogy.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's supposed to be like a mentor in it. So, like, passing the baton to the next set of heroes.
Next, yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, I know when she was, because they did even kind of gloss over the Rogue Squadron, when she was saying Rogue Squadron. She named a bunch of stuff, but like, at least we got like the Sean Levy, the Starfighter, that's like starting production next week. Like we're jumping into that. I thought that was kind of interesting.
October, I think it was, isn't it? Didn't he say October they're starting filming?
Yeah, it's later this year. The one that's starting like next week is Ahsoka season 2.
Okay, the Ahsoka one.
Yeah.
That's it. But a lot of things are moving, which is cool. And back here, I don't know if you guys heard rumbles out at Celebration, but everyone's been talking about Tony Gilroy made a mention that their Lucasfilm in general is looking or greenlighting a horror film Star Wars project. So
they want, it's a rumor right now. There's nothing confirmed.
That'll be interesting to see if anything comes of that. I thought for sure
Yeah.
in Celebration, maybe the mall thing is what they're talking about. Like, is that what they're talking about? I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, okay, so I kind of made like a little list of the stuff that's either like going in some sort of production, like pre-production, production, or coming out like relatively soon. So I mean, we got Andor. I'm not counting that because that's like today. But we got Tales of the Underworld.
Mm-hmm.
We got Rebuild the Galaxy, Pieces of the Past.
Yep.
So Visions Volume 3.
Mm-hmm.
We got Maul Shadow Lord. Then we got Star Wars Visions presents the Ninth Jedi. So it's like a spin-off of Star Wars Visions. Yeah. Yeah, a spin-off of it. Then you got The Mandalorian and Grogu. You got Ahsoka Season 2. Star Wars Starfighter. And then the Charmin Obaid Shinoy Rey movie. The James Mangold Dawn of the Jedi movie. The Simon Kinberg trilogy. And then the Taika Waititi.
Yeah, Taika's still going, she said. Yeah.
I don't remember her saying that though. Like I don't remember her
there's a clip.
Yeah, she did have a clip, but like
she meant. Yeah, there was a clip where she mentioned those ones.
Okay.
I don't know if it was from Celebration, but
it might have been like last year's Celebration, but I don't think at that.
No, I think
Mando Grogu panel.
It was just before she brought out
early. Before even Hayden came on.
It was just before she brought out it was just before she brought out Sean Levy.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. I'll have to try and find the clip again. But I saw a clip of it and she mentioned that and then she brought out Sean Levy or something.
I think a lot of fans are
that's like without Andor, that's like 12 projects coming up.
But a lot of them were already like filmed. Like it Tales of the Underworld's already done. Andor Season 2 is already done. They're going to start filming.
The Galaxy is pretty much done, right?
Yeah. But I know they are like within Visions Season 3, like continuing some of the other stories, like the Ronin, that's continuing, Night Jedi, stuff like that.
Yes, I like that. I think the ones that they're continuing from Season 1 were all ones the three of us were like, that was solid, like the Bride one, the Ronin, and the Ninth Jedi. Like those.
I think there was like 3 that they were gonna like continue the story with.
Yep, and they were all solid. Awesome. I actually watched a bunch of Season 2 yesterday, just kind of skipping around, watching different clips, and I really do enjoy Visions. It's just, you know what? It's when it's that thing that you want to watch, that you want to see something familiar. You want Star Wars, but you don't want to watch the same thing that you've watched a million times. You just want something different, but that vibe. And they're great for that because they're self-contained stories. It's, they just look so neat. Like even when I saw that trailer, Lex, that they did for Visions 3, like this girl kind of threw her droid up, her like astromech up, and it went and became like a mech suit for us. Like, dude, that's cool. Like that's what that anime style is really neat. And the Visions kind of explores other ideas like that because that was pretty slick. I thought that was pretty slick.
Mm-hmm. What projects are you most excited for? Like that were announced.
I think Maul the most, right? That's that. I think for me, it's the Maul, and then the Visions, because I know I'm gonna get that now. Like I'm sooner, I'm like, I could feast on that sooner than later. Then the Maul's coming. As for the other things that like the Mando Grogu, I am super hyped for that because it's going to be on a big screen. So, you know what I mean? I think the fact that I'm going to get something soon, I'm going to be able to see in my home, and then I'm going to still get something on the big screen, and then something knowing that I got something coming a year after that. That's what's exciting for me as a fan.
Yeah.
How about you, Lex?
I'm a huge animated person, so I think that the Maul series is absolutely crazy, and I'm really looking forward to that. Based off what we got to see with the Mando and Grogu like trailer that they showed us, I'm super excited about that. And then of course I'm excited about Ahsoka Season 2. Like I think that was an interesting panel, there was a few things confirmed. Nothing was really shown that was like out there, like as far as trailers go. I mean, Dave did make this like quick like whiplash of a trailer that was supposed to kind of mimic some of the OT like trailers, but I mean, other than like clip art and stuff like that you could see in there, like from his sketches and stuff, there wasn't anything that was like highly confirmed. But I mean, Hayden straight out said he was going to be back for season 2. They did confirm that Rory McCain is going to be playing Balin, taking over for.
Yeah, I was going to ask. They showed images, at least we saw. But were those images real photos? Were they AI put together? What were they
real. I think they were real photos of like Rory and. Cool. I mean, Dave really did like a very sentimental kind of thing about it, and was saying like how much of an impact that Ray Stevenson had like on them, on Ahsoka, like how much he meant to Dave, and how much his passing kind of really almost kind of stunted Ahsoka season 2, because he was like, I'm not sure if we should even continue the story. I'm not sure like what we should really even be doing. Like it had that much of an impact. And he was like, no, like I think what we're doing, we need to continue. And Ray wouldn't want us to stop. But I had to make sure that it was okay with his family. So he even went and spoke with Ray's family about like what he was planning to do and got their approval for it. And then, he was like, we found, I think the perfect person to kind of replace Ray. And he was like, no one's ever going to be Ray, but I think he understands the weight of, this role
friend,
and
right?
Like that
in real life.
Yeah. So he was like, taking over this role, I think he understands the weight of it, and kind of just hearing how Dave was talking about it and the confidence that he has in Rory to kind of take over this position following Ray was really, honestly breathtaking, very emotional, and gave us a lot of like hope that he is going to continue. No one will ever be Ray Stevenson, but I think Rory's going to try to do his best to continue that legacy on
that character. Yeah,
hearing how emotional Dave was about the whole situation, and like the fact that his passing, like we may have not even gotten to season 2 because of it.
Wow, that's crazy. They haven't like, it really affected emotionally.
And they confirmed that Akbar was going to go head to head against Thrawn.
They did. They showed like a mold of Akbar's head, and he was like, I'll give you guys this. Like, Akbar is back, and he's going to be going head to head with Thrawn in like a big way. And then they announced, he showed like these pictures of like these little Loth cats, like Loth kitties. And he was saying that their legs are so weak that the way that they get around is they have to roll because their legs are too weak. So like they can't walk, they have to just roll. Wow. I was like, that's so cute. But yeah.
Do you think that's going to be a real thing, or is he just
I think so. 100%. I think it's a thing. I mean, he showed pictures, like there was a picture of them, and like he was talking about them. So I think he's
going to sketches, I've heard about them, but I didn't know if they were sketches.
I mean, they looked pretty legit. Like, I think it's still in like, the production phase and stuff, but like, I think it's there, and it's going to be like,
I can imagine just like a puffy little, like squishmallow Loth cat with these tiny little legs and this brown little furry thing. Like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. I think it's a thing. Like, I don't think he would have brought it up, but I think those were like the 4 bigger things that they mentioned during the panel for sure.
That's awesome. That's super cool.
But yeah, so Thrawn's going to be there in the front.
What was your biggest, I'd say, souvenir takeaway that you got for yourself? That was that one item that identified that con.
Yes.
There it is.
That one right there. And I actually remembered what I said to them. I walked up, Hayden was like, how are you doing? I shook his hand, and then I shook her hand, and I was like, you two you play my favorite characters, and it's super special that I get to do this with you two. And they like kind of smiled at me, and of course, like all the people were like yelling and like, and then they took the picture, and then they like both looked at me and shook my hand, and the picture came out great. And while I didn't get to do Hayden's auto, I did get to do Rosario's.
Nice.
So there's that. Sign my plaque. I picked up a lot of art. I've never picked up so much art at a con, but I think I by far picked up the most art pieces I've ever picked up at Celebration. And then I got a lot of like pins, but I think the biggest one for me.
A lot of trading?
No. I just bought like the Celebration, like exclusive pins. I was not buying and going out and trying to do all that. There was too much to do. I know that like that's some people's, their
I
gig.
saw
but-
so many gorgeous patches. I'm not even a patch collector. Like, I
have a bag of patches. I have a bag
so
of
many creative people at this.
The
Star
artwork,
Wars
like
convention.
how was Artist Alley? Because I don't know. Like no,
a mess.
I didn't find anyone really covered it.
I-
Tony went
There an
to-
Artist Alley?
Tony
I
went
haven't
to
been
a couple booths, but like it looked pretty small from what I could see.
So it wasn't like huge, but I mean, one of the halls essentially just had Galaxy Stage and then the Artist Alley in it. In the show, it had quite a few. I did take videos and stuff, and it's in my first day video, which I got to put out. But each artist kind of had their own table, and essentially they had one line for people who did not pre-order because the artists had X amount of prints that were pre-ordered, and then an X amount of prints that were left over that could be purchased. So they had a line for people who didn't pre-order but wanted to purchase, and then they had a line for people who did pre-order and needed to pick up. However, there was only one person working the pre-orders, only one computer, and only one printer. So you had to wait in line to go talk to this one man, give him your order number for him to print out a piece of paper with your receipt on it, and then you had to take that receipt to go to each of the tables to pick up your art. And once you got there, they asked like, oh, thanks for purchasing my art. They signed it for you. They let you pick out like the number. I think each of them had like 250 like art pieces that were pre-ordered. So like you got to pick which number you wanted. So I think for like one of them, like Tracy's, I got like 44, and then she gave that to me. She signed it, and then they like rolled it up for you nice, and that was that. But it was super busy. Like it was crazy.
Did you pre-order the prints?
I pre-ordered 4 prints. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So I had to go to each of them and give them my piece of paper, have them cross it out,
Yeah.
which was kind of annoying.
So it's definitely a lot. Yeah, it's a lot different than MegaCon and stuff like that. It's just,
yes, 100%. Like you couldn't just walk up to them and like purchase. Like you had to go to someone to have them confirm that you either pre-ordered or that you were allowed to purchase. And like come the third day, a lot of the prints were sold out. Like you couldn't just walk in and get it. Like you had to pick up your pre-order. But on the last day, if you didn't pick up your pre-order by 12, they were allowed to sell it.
Wow.
So, and a lot of them had like their own stickers and stuff like at the booths along with the prints. So, and it was cool because I got to like go and talk to a lot of them because I watched Tony's like Sith talks with them. And it was cool to like have a conversation with them, especially the people that I like picked up art from. I was like, it was really cool getting to hear your story. And like, it kind of just made me purchasing your art more meaningful, at least to me, and stuff like that. So that was cool as well. And they all were like, oh, Tony,
they
like,
probably appreciate
we love you
that.
too then. Like, and I was like, yay. So
That's
that
cool.
was fun.
Was there anything unique like something I saw that I was like, oh, that I wouldn't have gone out there thinking I'd want that, but they had like these cool Japanese fans that were kind of like Star Wars Celebration themed art. I was like, dude, those are cool. I didn't know if was that at the store or was that elsewhere.
So that was at the Celebration store specifically, and they were sold out. Like, and then they would
cool.
restock.
I mean, I'm like, where would I?
Yeah, I wanted one.
Cool. I want one.
I definitely wanted one. They were like nice Japanese style fans, and like when you fanned it out, it like had the samurai type art on it, and like it came with a stand and everything. But they were 100% like sold out. It was insane.
I figured,
and then like I went at like 8, and then they were like, "Oh, well, we're gonna restock like a few of them at 2," and I was like, "What am I gonna do? Stand in here for 6 hours?"
Yeah, right.
Like,
I got a ticket for 4:30. How about just give it to me now? Like,
yeah, so I mean, it was definitely tough because I know like some of the stuff for the show got like stuck in customs and stuff like that. So like they only had X amount of stuff to begin with, but like I don't know. I think it was really tough, like because especially with the Hot Toys, like they were only supposed to put out like 250 a day, and like they had just put out at the beginning and was like, there you go, everyone, like knock yourselves out, and then they were selling out. So it was like tough for people that were only going one day versus all 3 days, like hoping they would get.
I didn't think of that, Lex, where they go for one day. Wow.
So that's the same with like the Hayden autographs. They were like, we're not accepting anymore. And they were like, well, I only purchased for today. They were like, come back tomorrow. And they're like, I can't. So
those are some tips that I think I want to kind of keep in my head for when I go. Like, is there certain experiences where like maybe a VIP pass would be better to get into that store in and out? Like, you bought a Lightning Lane one and didn't even get in there in a timely manner to pick out stuff. So like,
well, I didn't buy it. You had to reserve it ahead of time.
What's that?
It was like a lottery. So same thing with the panels. Like you didn't have to pay for them, but you had to go on and like try to get lucky enough through the lottery that you could make a reservation. So I didn't have to pay to attend the panels or the lights being laid. However, I will be trying for when it comes to LA to get the VIP. I don't want to wait in lanes. I mean, it's the same thing as when it comes to like just general conventions. You pay for the VIP, you get to like go in a separate VIP line and just go. You have priority. So of course, a VIP, if you can get it, it's going to be crazy though, and like expensive. But I'm going to try to do it because I just don't want to wait in the lines again. Like that was such a waste of time.
Yeah, I'm going to figure out from you guys. You experienced Star Wars Celebration goers. I'm going to kind of follow your suit, like like Tony. I'll be like watching his videos. I'll have multiple tablets, laptops, devices open, ready to go at any given one of those. Like you said, you had the little the lotteries. I'll be.
I mean, it's the same thing when you go to like buy the tickets. So you got to have multiple screens up and just hope that one of them gets you in. But I have a feeling that because it's coming back to the States, it's going to be much harder to get tickets.
It's going to go quicker.
It was already hard to get VIP in 3-day for Japan, but the day passes themselves took a while to sell out. But I have a feeling like when it's in LA, it's going to be like almost impossible to get VIP. But I think that's what a lot of us are going to try to go for this next time around because a lot of us didn't or weren't able to get it for Japan.
I might have to coordinate this with my office and like have my colleagues. Okay, guys, this is what we're doing for this hour. We're StarWars.com. Everyone log in. Here's my username and ID. I've already put it on a note on everyone's laptops. Let's log in and let's get some tickets, folks. Let's roll. Come on.
That's what you got to do. The more tabs and stuff you have open on different devices, the higher chance that you have of getting in. But it still doesn't even guarantee that you'll get in before everyone else. So.
No, I'm sure it's a crapshoot.
It's a thing. It's a thing. But Tony's videos are definitely very helpful. I'm glad that I was able to like watch him and kind of have him as a resource when it came to this. Same thing with Ricky, because they're very experienced.
Both those guys they've gone to a couple of them by now, so they got it under the belt. They kind of have a little bit of an idea of how it goes.
They have a lot of an idea of how it goes. I mean, they're pretty much pros at it. I don't think anyone has been covering celebrations as long as they have. So I think when it comes to that, like I trust their word over anyone else's really. But now that I've gone, I kind of know what to expect and what I want out of it. But hopefully with LA and it being 4 days, I know it's going to be absolutely insane with it being in the States because it's more accessible for people. But I'm definitely going to 100% try to go for a VIP because the lines.
I might have to. I might just because I want to hang out with you guys. I don't want to be like, oh, wait for me.
I mean, at the con, though, it was really tough. I'm not going to lie, because everyone's trying to do their own thing. Everyone has different reservations at different stages, like trying to go to Hot Toys. So, like, during the day at the con, it was hard to kind of for us to meet up and do stuff. But after the con, we spent a lot of time together.
Yeah,
so that was definitely a thing.
Much because you're in your own zones. You know what I mean? Like, you've got this auto, you're going to be sticking in this line for X amount of hours, Yeah. I'm almost wondering now if I would spend the money trying to go to the celebration to get an auto in fear of what happened to you, as opposed to maybe if they say go to a MegaCon or Niagara Falls or Rhode Island Comic-Con and the same person come there. One, I'm sure it's going to be cheaper that way, but it's almost more of a guarantee as opposed to, even though I have a reservation, it's not like they're going to honor the reservation.
I mean, to me though, if I wish I would have done them here rather than flying to Japan with the hopes that I was going to do it and then not be able to. So like if they're coming to any con in Florida, I will be getting Hayden's thing, but I won't be flying internationally ever again just for like, and a lot of people did that. They were like, I only came for this. Which, granted, I didn't go to Japan just for that. I went, for other experiences. Like, I went up higher. Some people only flew out for that, to do that, and were flying back without it. And, that was kind of across the board what a lot of people were upset about. And luckily, fortunately, I was able to go up and do other things, and that wasn't the only thing I was looking forward to.
Yeah.
But like, imagine you were only flying out because it was closer for you to go to Japan than come to the States or whatever it is, get his autograph, be told no, and then have to fly back without it.
Dude, the closest thing I can experience to that was when I went to the Halcyon, right? The Star Wars hotel. I was the only excursion that got canceled because of the damn Hurricane Ivan or whatever the hell it was at the time came blowing through. So imagine spending that kind of money, me being like uber fan, like, woo, we're going. And then I already had pushed it off because of COVID, right? Because it was, we're celebrating my 50th. So I pushed it off, and then I go, and then it's canceled. And so I'm in an airport scrambling to like make reservations because I'm already there. And so the options were I could either extend on the end and wait a couple, like 2 or 3 days, and then go for those 2 days. That was option one. Option two was I could wait a year and, rebook and go a year. Well, I'm glad I didn't do that, because if it was canceled in September, it wouldn't, if I had rebooked in a year, same time next year, it wasn't going to be there. So I know when I got there and like that wasn't going on, all the other things, like my Olga's got canceled. The well, no, cancel. I'm coming. I'm there. Like, I just got to rebook it. And that was very frustrating. And like, that was almost soul crushing, because honestly, that's the only reason I was going to Disney. Didn't care to see, even though I love Remy's and all those other rides and everything, I didn't go there for that. I wanted Star Wars. And so to go spend that kind of money and get there and be like, oh yeah, it's canceled. What the hell do you mean canceled? I'm here. I'm in Orlando now. Canceled is a word that I am not going to be satisfied with. Like, canceled. No, that's called do what Walt Disney would do, like surprise and delight the guest. Like, that's what I'm expecting. And true to Disney's caliber, the people at the Polynesian, the concierge service at the Polynesian, were awesome. They're like, they couldn't believe that. They're like, I heard that this is happening. Let's see what we can do. They were Johnny on the spot trying to help us. My sister, God bless her soul, she was out there playing travel agent, trying to get into the system, because she kind of did that on the side. So like, it was a total scramble. So I can only imagine driving halfway around the world. I went 4 hours on a flight to Florida. Well, I mean, it was quite the fiasco, because I was stuck in Philly for almost a day with the hurricane and everything, shutting down flights. So, but traveling to Japan and then to go see the Chosen One, that's your goal, and that gets shattered. That's a hard one to swallow. That's tough. That's tough.
But also photo ops at Celebration, I would imagine they cost more than going, say, MegaCon for the same photo op.
I think MegaCon is expensive too. But yeah, I mean, generally, I didn't think they were that much more expensive, but I think overall, like across the board, they were more expensive than general, like here. But I think my thought maybe for next time is, if they're coming to a con here that's like a smaller con or something like that, like MegaCon's a big con, but I get it. Like Hayden and Rosario don't do like tiny cons like in Jacksonville and stuff like that. But I think if it was anyone else and they're going to come to a smaller con, I would feel better about wasting my time in a line there than I would at Celebration, considering how much there is to do and stuff like that I would rather do it there. But there's also nothing that beats getting to do a photo op or an auto at Celebration with Star Wars actors. Like, it was a cool experience. But I think if any of them like do come around here before then, I'll probably try to do that so I don't have to do it at Celebration. But I think there's going to be a ton of more actors and stuff at Celebration coming up, because it's in the States versus Japan.
And it's the 50th anniversary, so you're going to have a lot more.
Star Wars, right. It's a big deal. It's going to be a big one. Like, I'm expecting Lucas to make an appearance at this one. Like, him not making an appearance, come on, dude, it's the 50th. He won't be around for 75th. Call it as it will. I'm getting old. He ain't going to be around. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I worried if I'd be around at 75. So I think it's going to be big. It's going to be a big one. That's my thought.
Yeah. But Andor today, though.
Yeah.
So you chose not to do the panel there because I mean they showed the first episode. You were only waiting like a couple more days to see it. So
I mean,
feel like that was a better choice.
Ahsoka over Andor, 100%.
I feel like that was a better choice.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you would have seen the first episode there, and like what, 3 days ahead.
Yeah, so that's kind of what my thought was. Is I'd rather go see.
Yeah.
I mean, even then, I really cared more about Ahsoka season 1 than I did about Andor season 1. So I'll always pick Ahsoka over Andor. But I mean, I heard good things about it, and I'm looking forward to watching at least like one of the episodes tonight because I got to work tomorrow morning, which I totally forgot about. But I think it's going to be tough to do like the reactions.
There's 3 episodes. They're up there now.
They're like almost
3 are up.
long. Yeah,
they're up.
Started at 9.
Yeah, started at 6 p.m. Pacific. So, yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
Do you want to know the titles? Do you want me to tell you the titles?
Sure. What's the titles?
Episode 1 is titled 1 Year Later. Episode 2 is Sagrona Tima, and then episode 3 is Harvest. So it looks like just from the thumbnail image, it looks like quite a bit of stuff from the trailer on that week.
That's what I figured. Because they don't want to give too much away.
No, but like the run times, 54 minutes, 47 minutes, and 56 minutes. So like we're looking at a movie a week.
We've got some watching to do tonight. So
yeah, it's a movie a week pretty much. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I mean, they're all above 40 minutes. Like, so someone released like the official run times of all of them, and they were like at least over 40 minutes each. Most of them being like in the 50s.
That's gonna be impressive. Yeah. That's gonna be fun. Guys, you excited? I'm excited.
I'm excited, but it's gonna be over too quick. Like we got 4 weeks of it, and that's it. So it's a good thing we got other stuff
May 4th,
on the horizon,
right around the corner,
right? Tales of the Underworld. We got
Star Wars fix right after.
Yeah, but even that they dropped that all at once. So after May 4th, there's nothing until October, September, October. When September is Rebuild the Galaxy sequel, and then October is Star Wars Visions Volume 3.
Which would be cool because I saw the Ahsoka Brickhead. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah. So, exciting stuff. Eric and I will be doing a little bit of a breakdown on the 3 episodes tomorrow on Rebel Rewind. So that'll be a fun chat. So we're gonna have a lot to chat about tomorrow too. So
yeah, I'm hoping that I get inspired to create some cool new images because there's one image I already have in my head just from the trailer. You know that white furry creature that we've talked about? They made the pop for. There's a scene where you see him in this like blue, and all I see is this bluish cast of light. So I'm thinking just color and what I'm seeing visually. It's like blue. It's like a hanger because I see like the big cabling, and he's standing there, and he's so big, it's you can almost tell who he is by silhouette. And I'm
he or she. Because remember that Funko Pop has those eyelashes.
It has eyelashes, but I thought someone recently commented and they said it's a male character. I mean,
maybe
because I was like, but they have eyelashes on the pop. Like they're like, I think it's male.
I guess there's some males who have very long eyelashes. So.
Possibly. I just think the creature just looks cool, and that bluish tone and the cables. It kind of got my mind thinking like, oh, I want to see that because that was one image that I shot that I was just so disappointed in. And you know, often people say like, oh, is there one that you'd want to redo? That's one of the ones I'd want to redo, and I'm hoping I'd get some inspiration. I did end up shooting a Luthen though. I know he didn't get included in my series because I really wasn't like, but I kind of did something with Luthen the other night playing around and I got something I yielded something I thought was decent enough to to public post or whatnot. So I'm happy with it.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I am excited for that too. For me, is to get inspired. Will there be an awesome scene, an awesome moment? Will we eventually get a pop? To bring nostalgia, that moment, that scene that I can recreate in my own way. That's what I'm excited for as well. Like that again. I get inspired and feed off that vibe and energy of Star Wars for my creativity as well. So I'm excited. I am super excited for this.
Yeah, I'm excited too. But like I said, it's gonna be too short. So
it is. But I can't look at the half empty. I've got to look at it as half full because we're going to be getting more. We're going to be getting more, and I don't mind that. I waited. I've told you guys. Being an old school, original OG, I went years before there was anything. So, like, come on. I'll if it's a few months, I can wait. If it's a year or two, I can wait. I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, the alternative is no Star Wars right now, right? So,
any Star Wars to me is good Star Wars, because there's always something you can take bits and pieces out, right? We might not like this animation style, or this might be geared towards a younger audience, but there's always little breadcrumbs in there that we take with us that is true to just being good Star Wars, creative Star Wars, fun Star Wars.
Yeah.
So,
actually, who did I see? I saw somebody posted Will of the Force, Will Diamond. He posted, what did he post? He posted something not too long ago. Where is it? Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, and he posted this earlier today. Yeah, 10 hours ago. He posted we get new Star Wars today, regardless of your current expectations, doubts, or preconceived notions, whether they're positive or negative. Getting new Star Wars should and always will be exciting. Your focus determines your reality, and he's 100% true. Like it should, and it should be exciting, right? Like if you're a Star Wars fan, like any new Star Wars should be exciting.
Yeah, there's something
after you watch it, but yeah,
and we're pushing the boundaries now too. I think that's what I'm getting excited for, because I think the whole fandom is to a point where we know we can't keep telling the Skywalker saga stories, and we can only branch off so much. But I think even the fans are like, I would like to see a story on the clones and just do that. Or like here we got Maul, or something that we've all craved, but we found a great spot there 4 or 5 years that we could tell about Maul in between this time and this time that we can have a lot of fun with. Awesome. The Starfighter, it's going to be new characters, a new position on the timeline. It's after Rise of Skywalker. That's great. We're building something new. Skeleton Crew. We built something new, self-contained, but it doesn't say we can't see that sprinkled out there, because we kind of got those characters, some of the pirates and the Mando. So like, I'm excited to see where all this goes, and I'm hoping that it breeds a better future. A better path for a better future. More solid. Because I definitely think Star Wars has that it factor in it that it makes it so unique compared to other franchises.
Mm-hmm.
That mythology is so just part of the DNA that it's just cool. We all love those stories, whether you've been a Harry Potter fan, a Lord of the Rings fan, all those things. Star Wars has a lot of those cool mythos pulled into it, and that's what got us into it. I think that's why we love those little, those the Clone Wars where you have Yoda kind of go off with the Wills. Then you have Luke and Empire going through the cave. It's those little mysteries and things, and we're going to probably see more of that. Like, my hope and dream is see Zendaya cast as a Night Sister. Like, that's what I'd like to see in the future. Like, bring it. Like, I want to see something cool. I want to see some massage, but it's open-ended at this point. And as even Star Wars Theory and Josh said on one of their panels, I don't know if they're in Chicago recently, but it was a really cool comment that they made, is some of the future Star Wars content could be created by people like us that I think us fans, with the technology getting out there and more people being able to, use Unreal Engine and stuff, like I'm just as excited for that. I see some really cool fan films recently. Someone did one. I don't know if you guys saw it. It's like Plagueis teaching Sidious about Force lightning. Cool. And there's some other little fan things I've been watching recently. Like that's a really cool take. And they used Unreal Engine, and it was just a short thing, but very well done. And I'm like, that's what I think gets us all excited. Star Wars has those cool mythos that are just so unique that can be shared. We see them from other IPs. We're getting that in here. Other creatives are now using the tools to get more creative. So it's constant. I think that's what I've been enjoying of recent years, is being able to see all that.
Yeah, agreed. But I think that'll do it for this episode of Let's Talk Star Wars. I don't know. I feel like last time we didn't do our usual send off of like where people can find us. It is in the description below for anyone who wants to know. Do we go back to that?
Yeah.
Shall we go back to that? All right, Patrick. Where can people find you?
People can find
keep it short and sweet.
People can find me on Poptography, on Instagram, social media, stuff like that, or Poptography YT. Creative Star Wars Funko Pop images. How about you, Lex?
Amen.
Where can they find you?
Jedi Lex. I do conventions, collectibles, reactions, news. I'm going to be pumping out a lot of my celebration content now that I'm back home, so be on the lookout for that. And Chris, where can people find you?
Seriously Star Wars on YouTube. No, is there an underscore now? No, I don't even remember. I don't look myself up on Instagram. Seriously SW on Instagram. If you want to find me. But yeah, pretty much anything Star Wars. So.
Yeah, and you've got something coming up tomorrow too, right?
I do.
You and Eric, your Rebel Rewind coming up.
Oh,
tomorrow.
well, I mean, Eric and I have Rebel Rewind, but I also have a review of a certain vending machine that I showed you guys.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be cool. That's
cool. I think once Patrick sees it, he's gonna be like, "Yeah, no, I need that."
I was debating that the other day. Do I need one of those?
Dude,
I was thinking about it.
It you know what? Like, it scales really well with the Black Series figures, but like,
does it light up? Is it backlit?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
I was afraid you'd say that.
It lights up, but like the pops actually don't look too bad next to it. So like if you threw it in the background of one of your images,
I might have to.
Yeah, I think you're gonna need it.
If they do one, never. I don't want to spoil for those that haven't seen it. But if they do like an episode 1 version that I'm thinking I'll have to get it. I have to.
I mean, it is an episode 1.
No, I know, but I think you have what I'm thinking. Was the legit like Pepsi?
Yeah, the legit Pepsi machine. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get one now. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Because it is.
Yeah.
If it didn't light up, I was tempted. But now that you told me, it
lights up.
Too, yeah,
it lights up. Yeah, you gotta get it.
That's too cool not to.
Yeah. But thanks everyone. What were you gonna say?
I'm excited.
Before I cut you off.
Oh, I was gonna tell you, I ordered the Samurai Pops.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you, Lex? I'm not like super impressed with them. Yeah, they're not cool. They look cool, but I'm not super impressed with them.
Dude, the Vader, I'm super impressed with. The Kylo, but I like it. It, and Rey looks great.
If they would have been in Japan, I would have got them. But I think with where I'm going collecting wise, like all the money that I just spent in Japan, like it's not something that I need right then and now. So
yeah. I am looking for the Mando. I was thinking of doing the pre-order, but I was just ordering it, and I was like, I enjoy the hunt. I'm gonna hunt that one down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hunt that.
Next episode, you'll have to let us know if you picked it up.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
See,
But had to
I
get
do
through
have
my
the Star
Northwest
Killer.
membership
I have
that
the
made.
Star Killer and the Force Ghost Qui-Gon. That should be at GameStop any minute, any day now. I think.
I took your tip, Chris, and did your trick where you go and you do
Oh,
the
you pre-ordered at the store? Yeah.
and they
Yeah,
use
'cause it doesn't cost-
your
it doesn't
$5
cost you
or
anything.
whatever, the reward points towards it.
You don't have to pay right away.
Yeah, I use
Or
my
are-
points or something to put the reservation for them. I don't know how that worked out, but yeah, like I put something up and then something down, and then it comes off of my thing, my membership points or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I did do that. But I'm
Yeah,
sorry
fair
to derail the end of the show, guys. I just want to
It's
share.
okay.
Oh my god, I forgot to say I did order those samurai ones because I know that was kind of thought it was kind of weird. It wasn't the Celebration like exclusives there. Because it should have been.
There was just the one. It was just the Jar Jar.
Yeah, the glitter Jar
They
Jar.
kind of dropped the ball. Yeah.
I guarantee if those other ones made it, they would have sold like hotcakes.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna slow down on the Funkos too. I think. I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know. Like, cause I'm slowly running out of space again. Like, do I need every Funko? Probably not.
No, I'm not like that, but I do like so many of them. It's so hard.
I know it is tough. It is tough, and it would be tough to.
They're addictive. I
Like,
crave them fortnightly.
which I guess spoiler alert. I mean, we already got a little bit spoilery in the show, but like Marok in that one trailer, right, Lex?
He was in the mall trailer.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
Him versus Mall.
really? Oh, yeah. It's gonna be
yes. Marok
Marok.
versus
They were on
Maul.
like a train or something, it looked like, and they were like about to duel each other. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and Marok's like, oh, so it's true, you live, or something like that.
Well, that's cool because that kind of fits in where we saw him in Rebels. Even remember when he was fighting the different Inquisitors?
Yeah,
And guy said like he lives or something like that, like he does exist or something like
Yeah.
that. And
I think they're just trying to
something
give
like that.
Marok more purpose than just a Night Sister fart.
I
A
hope
cloud-
so.
a cloud
He looked
in-
cool. He did look cool.
yeah.
One of my favorite pops from that year, even from last year.
Yeah, yeah, I'd probably agree with you. But I don't know, like I've seen a few Black Series figures that I'm tempted to pick up, even though they're a little bit pricey.
I was thinking
The
of getting the
Prince-
Ronin. I was thinking about
The
that
Prince, the Prince
hardcore today.
Shizor one from Shadows of the Empire. Oof.
There's some cool things,
Yeah.
like the other things I was thinking of getting, and maybe I was just so in the vibe and hype of Celebration. But after
Yeah.
seeing someone cosplay as that Boba Fett, I almost thought of ordering that Japanese style figure with the kind of
Mhm,
samurai
mhm.
armor Fett. That looks
Yep.
so good. Like that.
A
I don't
lot
know.
of
Yeah.
people did that. They
I don't
cosplayed
think
that,
they're
like
figure arts, but those are phenomenal. And then
Yeah.
someone
was there too.
there was somebody else I saw that had this other line. It's like a Mythos line, and I think it might be SH Figure Arts. It's a Mythos line, and it had like a Kenobi, but not like the Kenobi we're used to seeing. It was like darker beard and a samurai knot, like rugged, like the clothing looked more samurai and more rugged looking, ripped up, like weathered. It was really cool. I got to figure out who had it because I was like, it was like $60 for the action figure, like for one figure, kind of pricey, but the detailing looks so good. I was like, damn. And seeing all the pictures of the Hot Toys and everyone's videos of them, and when Tony and everyone was getting up close, getting rid of the reflections, and you could see the damn eyes and the details and the sculpts of the faces. I was like, I'd be damned if I took a photo with my macro lens if you could tell me if that was actually the real person or the toy. I'm telling you, if you light it the right way, you would have no goddamn idea.
Yeah,
couldn't
I
tell
think
the
I'm holding off on Funko because I'm going to start going down the Hot Toys route, or at least the sideshow
Ooh,
route. I
ooh.
think that's what's happening.
Yeah, there's a couple pieces that I saw that were like that one Anakin Skywalker one.
Dude, yeah, they had them all out on display, like in front of the Hot Toys booth, and like they had like a case of like just the new ones and stuff, but just all the other ones, like they had like the different like kind of eras almost, like the sequels. They had
Yeah.
like the prequels, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, but like some of the Vaders were absolutely insane. Like I saw one of them that I like almost pre-ordered, and I saw it in person, and I was like, God damn it, why did I
That's the
not
one where the
pre-order it?
robot legs exposed?
Dude, yes, that one. And the
glowing.
capes off to the side. Dude, I think I'm gonna have to try to go back. and
Dude,
get it. It looked
I
absolutely
was like,
insane.
holy
Like-
shit! I'd sell half my collection for that. That was awesome.
So I think I want that one. Sideshow's doing like a massive Thrawn where he's like sitting down, and I think I want that one too. Like, I think that's just where I'm gonna start going.
I even was going to ask about Cosbaby.
Good thing you got your own place because
Cosbaby was on display as well, and they had like some huge ones too. They looked really cool. I mean, they're definitely smaller than the Funko Pops, but I kind of
How
thought they
about the
looked.
bobblehead versions? They
They had them
were
all the Cosbabies were out on display. The ones like in the vehicles, not in the vehicles, holding the balloons or whatever the heck they
See,
were. I'll send you the video after. But
Yeah,
they had
'cause
them all out on
at least
display.
were they
yeah.
any good?
At least
I
that's
mean,
good that they had everything on display. Like because
They
if you
were-
couldn't
they
get
were
into the booth,
adorable.
right?
I thought they were
Yeah.
so cute. Like
I love the
kind
color.
of like them. I just don't like the price point on them. And I think we discussed that. Like they look great, but they're expensive.
Wow, what is the
Like,
price
what they
point on one of
are.
those suckers?
I forgot. We had a whole video about it where we like compared
Yeah.
them to Patrick. I totally forgot.
We did do that.
But yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, no,
'Cause I
at
definitely
least
might
that
have
was
to-
nice. They had everything on display, like because like you didn't get into the Hot Toys booth, right? So like you could see
I
everything.
didn't even try because a lot of them were like
Yeah.
sold out before I could even, but they had a whole
Yeah.
thing like on the outside of the Hot Toys booth and
Yeah,
it had
yeah. So at least
everything
you were able to see
in it,
everything,
so I
right?
could
So
see them and they looked amazing, but I didn't even try. I mean, the booth was fucking empty. Like there was no point in even waiting in line to go into an empty booth. Like it was
Yeah,
stupid.
Yeah, and what are you going to lug that
Yeah.
around for half?
I mean,
your
I
time?
would have dropped it off at the hotel. Like that's what Tony did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just insane.
yeah,
Crazy.
Hot
but-
Toys might be something I might have to add, like at least one or two pieces.
It's not going to be just one or two.
But the price is
It's
killer.
it's
So
not
like,
just gonna be one or two. I know that for a fact. They're just like Funko. It's like the
really, is that bad?
I mean, from everyone that collects them now, like that's kind of what
I
happens.
feel that they've all sold their
People
previous
that Hot Toys-
collections to go that route. So I'm like, oh, that's
Yep.
kind of nerve wracking.
It is, but
I don't know. Some of them are so good looking. though.
evolution.
it is
right?
evolution. It's the process of collecting.
Yeah.
Use your
But-
collection to fund your collection.
Like I
True
said,
that.
at least Lex has her own place, so like she's not limited just to the one room anymore.
Nope,
If she has to, she can like spread out into the rest of the apartment. So
ain't that right? So we're gonna get crazy with it. I think so.
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
can only
yeah.
expand so much down here. I can only
Yeah.
expand this so much, and then I'm out of room down here. Like I'm already pushing into another room in here downstairs. You know, yeah, like it's like a 2-room thing. I'm already pushing it. I've got one wall in the other room almost taken, and it's just kind of half-assed. But when it gets
Yeah.
all done, it's
and then it comes time when you're like, well, okay, kids, you guys are
Time for
moving
you to
out. I
move
don't
out.
care if you're underage, doesn't matter.
Get out.
well, so yeah, that's gonna happen soon enough. Like my daughter leaves in 2 years, right? And then he's not long to follow after her. He's only a year behind her. So like I look at it as she might go away to school. I don't know if she'll want to stay somewhat local, but either way, I wouldn't mind if they stayed here. I don't care.
Either way,
Yeah,
GTFO. Get room for fun.
but yeah,
I just
think-
don't wanna
I
be
think
like,
we could probably end it
remember-
there.
Yeah, I always think of Family Ties when they're sitting there measuring Alex's room as he's getting ready to move to college. Like the sister goes in there, Mallory's in there, the younger sister, the mom and the dad.
I
each
think
in their
I think Lex
space.
is probably like, what's Family Ties? Isn't she like too young for that?
No, she
Family
probably-
ties.
Alex B. Keaton, Michael J. Fox.
Yeah,
There's a famous episode when he was
I know,
when he moved to college. They all were taking tape measures to his bedroom. And it was the whole episode, every other scene was someone coming in his room with measuring tape, thinking about what they're going to use that room for. It was just always made me laugh.
My dad probably watched it because that's probably why he did what he did. He'd like come in and be like, "I wonder what I could turn her room into when she leaves, and what about the other one?"
All parents do. Like this down here that we're enjoying now. This was the kids' playroom. As they got older, I don't go downstairs and play down there. So I literally had like this double half finished room that wasn't getting used. It was just stocked with their. I still have half their stuff just thrown in piles. You know, like their old toys, like Thomas the Tank Train, and I've got Monster High galore.
Yep.
You know, stuff like that. Like my daughter's like, I said, why don't you just have a yard sale? You'd clean up because you had some really cool pieces. Like, you'd clean up. Like, she has the Monster High. She has Monster High right over here.
I don't think anyone buys that anymore, though. Like, do people buy that stuff? I don't know.
Yeah, they did.
I'm sure people do. You just have to like find the right audience for it on eBay.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
But yeah. Let's,
all right, guys.
Yeah. Let's
cut it off there.
Kind
of derailed our close there. By
all
being
good. All
excited.
good. But thanks everyone for joining us in the chat. If anyone's still there, they're probably all off watching Andor by now. But
guarantee they are. Just like
we'll see everyone next week, and we'll chat some more Star Wars and Andor and all that good stuff. So,
all right.
See everyone later.
Bye, guys.
See you guys later.
Forces will give the Jedi a touch.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
This is where the fun begins.
This is the way. This is the way.